What's up guys, Balamos here. So tonight we are going to be talking about the one game that single-handedly reinvented the Mega Man franchise. And before we get to it, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video with your friends. Now, I'm going to start this video by saying that, to me, Megaman X is actually a perfect game. The results achieved by Keiji Inafune and his team were nothing short of stellar. Yes, because think about it. Taking such a beloved and iconic franchise as the original Mega Man series and bringing it to the 16-bit powerhouse that was the Super Nintendo was no small feat, because on one side you needed to keep all of its core elements, everything that made the original franchise, that made Mega Man such a smash hit, while on the other hand, Keiji at the same time had the colossal job of bringing in new elements as to justify the X in the series. You know, things just had to be different enough for this to become a new iteration in the franchise itself, an evolution, while still keeping its legacy elements as not to alienate its older fan base. If you think about it, this is really a slippery slope. Things can go sideways really quick. However, Keiji rose to the challenge like the master that he's proven himself to be. The original franchise always felt very cartoonish, you know, something for the kids or pre-teens, not that we don't play it as 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old man, because Mega Man's awesome. However, in Mega Man X, there has been a departure, and it's clear that this was deliberate. First and foremost, we can tell this by Mega Man X's demeanor itself. He looks more aggressive. His main ally, Zero, which we'll get into depth in a very short moment, was a no BS type of character. His drive was unyielding so much that he would actually sacrifice himself at the end of this very first title in this new franchise. And if in the original franchise, Dr. Wily, who was the main villain, looked like, you know, he could either sell you an ice cream as much as he could mug you off the streets, or at least attempt and fail, Sigma, who would become the semi-eternal villain in the Mega Man X franchise, looked menacing as shit. And we also had Vile, who to me has always been clearly inspired on Boba Fett. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as I replayed this entire game to get footage for this video, you know, when I got to the fight against Vile, it was really cool because he walked the walk. Hate him if you will, but Vile knew how to put up a damn good fight. He was fast, aggressive, and powerful. And you see, this change in tone alone would have already been enough to sell the game to newer generations. But Inafune went above and beyond and revamped the gameplay mechanics, making one of the tightest gameplays I've ever witnessed in a game up to this very day. After acquiring the armor upgrades left behind by Dr. Light, God knows how many centuries ago for X, for the first time in this franchise, you will get the ability to dash. Now, of course, in modern games, this may seem trite, of course. You know, in a game like this, your character won't be able to dash. Come on. However, back then, this made a world of difference in the minds of players. This was the first time we were seeing it. A bigger, angrier Mega Man with a cooler story, amazing backgrounds, excellent boss design, and a soundtrack that up to this very day remains one of the greatest soundtracks ever composed for a game. The song you're listening to right now in its extended version is Spark Mandrill's theme. Literally every single time I start playing this game again, the first thing that comes to mind is Spark Mandrill's theme, and whenever I reach this stage, it's pure bliss. And as I always ask you in games with great soundtracks, let me know your favorite tune. And the addition of the quest for Mega Man X's upgrades, you know, from all of the 4 armor parts to the hard tanks to the sub-tank, was always the #1 talk at school between boys. We were always wondering, hey man, I'm missing, you know, one sub-tank. Well, which ones have you gotten? Oh, I got the one in Storm Eagle, the one in Spark Mandrill, and so on and so forth. And knowing those things, you know, nowadays with the internet, that's kind of silly. But back then, if you knew how to do something no one else did, you were kind of the superstar during lunch. And the overall package, the overall quality of this game was so goddamn high that we really didn't mind going through the same stages over and over and over and over and over again, just so we could get absolutely everything. And speaking of which, once you got everything, you would be able to pull off a Hadouken. Yes, I'm talking about Ryu and Ken's special move. It was a fifth and final hidden power-up capsule hidden in Armored Armadillo stage. However, I think it's pretty safe to say that, none of us ever really found that out by ourselves. We always had to read it in some sort of magazine. I know that the US had the Nintendo Power. In my country, we had Game Power. It was also a magazine about Nintendo games, so in a way, they were sisters. However, we are not done yet. Not with Mega Man X, my friends. Not with this title. Because the bosses in any Mega Man game, X or otherwise, are just as important and as cool to look at as Mega Man himself. And again, man, this was the Super Nintendo we were talking about, so Inafune had an added task of creating unique, striking, and remarkable bosses. Just take a look at the Flame Mammoth. He is huge. There was no way in hell this would ever be achieved on the NES. Out of them all, I gotta say my favorite is Storm Eagle. No, he is the type of character that I love. Even though you are facing off against him, I'm always getting this impression that he is righteous, that he's very powerful. He's my favorite one. Let me know yours. And he was also elegant as shit, come on. And still talking about the bosses, there were basically two ways you could go about defeating them. You could either use a special weapon that was their weakness, or you could go hardcore and beat them with the X-Buster by itself. And let me tell you right now, if you choose to do so, if you've never done it, then besides having one hell of a prime time, which will serve as a testament to how well this game was programmed, how well it was thought out, it was executed, you actually see how rich and balanced the boss designs were. My recommendation, go for Chill Penguin first, in which you will get the dash in the process. It's the only upgrade you cannot miss because it's literally in your way, you cannot go around it. And then just end everyone else with the X-Buster. You're gonna have one hell of a time. And as if that wasn't enough, there's still a secret that a lot of players actually don't know about. If you reach the second and, let's say, real battle against Vile with every single armor upgrade minus the X-Buster upgrade, then you will get Zero's arm cannon, which from a storytelling point of view adds that element of bravery, of camaraderie. It's not just myself, motherfucker, it's me and my buddy Zero. We're gonna take you down. I'm doing this for mankind. I'm doing this for my lost comrade. You don't know what's gonna hit you. God, I love this game so much. Jesus Christ. And also now in Mega Man X, you could actually supercharge boss weapons. And you know what, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I love this game so much. I had such a blast replaying this game after, I think it's been like maybe 2 or 3 years since my last run, that I'm actually thinking about ranking every single boss weapon in a dedicated video. Let me know if you'd like for that to happen. And once you know the ropes, once you know which weapon you should save, which weapon you can use very freely, then Mega Man X becomes an entirely different experience, because really, blazing through a stage with Storm Eagle's weapon, or torching everyone with Flame Mammoth's cannon, also added to the replay value while still on the same playthrough. How cool is that, really? And needless to say, Mega Man X was a smash hit, so much that it would spawn another 7 numbered entries in the franchise. Now, granted, some of them weren't really good. One could argue that Mega Man 7 should have never been made, at all. And while I'll never defend this abomination of a game, it would be later on followed by Mega Man X8. However, the damage done by Mega Man X7 was so severe that a lot of people skipped X8 altogether. And while, later on we would get the Mega Man ZX series, which would end up featuring Zero as the leading character, I always think, in the back of my mind, I wish so hard that Capcom would pull out a Mega Man X10 or XX. We're all still here, we're still waiting for it. If they released it, we'd play it. And yes, I haven't forgotten, let's talk a little bit about Zero. You see, Zero was originally designed to replace Mega Man X in terms of design. That was Keiji Inafune's wish. However, Capcom thought that this would alienate fans from the original franchise, and rightfully so. Mega Man is a very iconic character. Everyone knows who he is. However, Inafune still felt very strongly about Zero and was unwilling to let his dream design go to waste. And the end result really couldn't have been better because we got two of the most iconic platformer action heroes ever. Just imagine this, if it hadn't been for Keiji Inafune's Iron Will, we would never have gotten Megaman X4, which to me is the staple of this magnificent series. What's your favorite Mega Man X title? So that was it for this video. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. If you enjoyed this content, I am going to be bringing you other Mega Man X games. I'm not sure I'll put myself through the suffering of playing Mega Man X7 ever again, but as for the other titles in the franchise, yeah, it's happening. So thank you for watching, take very good care of yourself, your family, loved ones, pets, friends, and I'll see you next time. Downward out.